Hi everybody, welcome back to Vidya Lakshmi YouTube channel. This is Mrs. Sumitra handling 10th Social Science. So, last lesson we saw about the manufacturing industry. So, this is the continuation of the same chapter, manufacturing industry. So, now let us continue with the factors that contribute to the location of the industries. So, first let us see what are the factors that contribute to the location of industries. First is availability of the cheap So, first let us see the factors that contribute to the location of the industries. First they are given you about the availability of the cheap labor. Okay. So, cheap labor is very important for location of any industry. Since India is a backward country or it is a developing country, any industry that starts now they will think that they wanted the cheap labor, let it be a skilled or unskilled labor, they need the cheap labor. So, availability of cheap labor plays a very important role in contribution of location of a industry. Next comes the point, that is availability of water. So, water is a very important, okay. So, it is one of the basic necessity of life as well as for location of the industry. Without water, nothing cannot be done. So, let it be iron and steel industries or the cotton textile industry, jute industry, etc. They need water. So, availability of water is very important. For example, availability of water is very important for especially in the jute industries. You know, for jute industries they need a lot of water. Since the jute industry is located near the Hooghly river basin, okay, in West Bengal, where there is availability of water from the Hooghly river, okay. Same way the water is also plays a very important role for location of textile industry, since cotton requires excess of water, as well as even the iron and steel industry also requires excess of water for location of that particular industry. And next point they are given you about the availability of electricity. Electricity also plays a very important role. So, you know that industries are to still electricity is like a lifeline for the industry. So, without electricity no industries cannot function. If there is a power shutdown for one particular day, there will be no work in the industry. So, electricity thus plays a very important and major role for location of industry. So, the industries are located in the place where there is more accessible to the electricity, or there is no power cut. In such places only they will locate these type of industries. And next is availability of capital. Capital is nothing but money. Money also plays a very major role in the location of the industry. So, without capital or without the investment of money, you cannot start any industry, okay. So, the industries need capital for buying the raw materials or for paying the salary to the both the skilled and unskilled labor, or even for marketing, advertising, etc. Money plays a very important role. So, the contribution of the capital plays a very major important role for location of any industry. Next is the availability of the market. Market also is very important, okay. So, after production, after the raw material is converted into the finished products, in next place is the marketing, okay. So, marketing means what? Okay. So, it is a place where you can go and sell your products. So, to sell your products you need market, okay. So, let it be inland, so the market you cannot market plays a very important role. That means that market is a place where you can go and sell your products, okay. Then only you can make some profit, okay. So, there is to location of industry, there is one point for locating a industry or for starting a industry. One is only profit minded, okay. So, money is very important. Next is the market. So, you have to sell your product, you have to get the money. With that money only you can buy the raw material, again you can recycle your production. So, market is very important. So, let it be the international market or a inland market, everything is very important for you. And next is the availability of the raw material. Actually, this is a major thing for starting a industry. Without raw material, nothing can be done. Okay, so raw material is very, very important for location of any industry, particularly the textile industry or the agro-based industry. Agro-based industry, now you know, the industry that is started with the help of agriculture products. Okay, so agriculture products are used as a raw material in the agro-based industry. If you see the other industries like iron and steel industry, iron ore plays, coal plays a very major role. Okay, so availability of raw material also plays a very important role in location of industries. So next, let us go to the next topic. So next, the topic is about the classification of industry. So classification of industry on the basis of sources of raw material they are given you. Sources of raw material. So I told you raw material also plays a very important role in location of industry as well as for classification of industry. On the basis of raw material, it is divided. So next topic we are going to see on the basis of raw material, what are the classifications of industry and their main role. Okay, source of raw material, their main role. And next comes the capital investment. Okay, on the basis of capital, how the industries are classified, and on the basis of ownership also. On the basis of ownership, we are going to see. So on the basis of ownership, we can tell public sector, private sector. So on the basis of raw material, we can tell about agro-based industry, etc. Okay, and if you come to the matter of capital, now you can tell about large scale industry or small scale industry. And the next, about the capital investment, now we can tell about large scale industry and the small scale industry. Also on the basis of this, it is the industry is divided. On the basis of ownership, now as I told you earlier, public sector, private sector, joint sector, etc. So they all fall under the category of the ownership. On the basis of bulk and the weightage also, we are going to see the different, what are the different types of industry that fall under this category. So on the basis of raw material, so we are going to see on the basis of raw material, here. So on the basis of raw material, the industry is, as I told you, the industry is classified into agro-based industry and mineral-based industry. So what is agro-based industry and what is mineral-based industry? We are going to see. Use the agricultural raw material. So agro-based industries are the industries that use the agricultural products as their raw material. For example, textile industry, they use the cotton as a raw material, and if you see in the jute industry, they use jute as a raw material, and tea, rubber, coffee all fall under the agro-based industry. Okay, in the tea industry, tea leaves are used as a raw material, and in the coffee, coffee beans are used. And same way in the chocolate factory also, they use the cocoa powder as a raw material. So these are fall under the agro-based industry. So example they are given you, as I told you, cotton, wool, jute, silk, rubber, sugar. So sugar also is a very major industry in India, where the sugar industry uses sugarcane as a major raw material, and tea, as I told you, tea leaves, coffee beans are used, okay, as a raw material. And next we are going to see about the mineral based industry. So in the mineral based industry, they use minerals as a raw material. For example, iron and steel industry, they use iron ore and coal as a basic raw material, okay. And in cement industry also, they use limestone, or such things as a raw material. And in aluminium industry also, bauxite, then iron, steel is used as a main raw material there. And in the machine tool, they use the products that are coming out from the iron and steel as the mineral based industry. So here they are given you the picture of the few industries. So this is actually the petrol, okay. This is actually a petrol drill from the Bombay High, okay. So that is also one of the basic industries. Next, according to the main role, we are going to see what are the important industries. So according to the main role, so basic and the key industry. So basic and the key industry, according to the main role, the industry is classified on the basis of basic and key industry and the consumer industries. Supply the products or raw materials to the manufacturer to the other. So, the basic or the key industry, what is the major role? They supply their products, okay, as a raw material to manufacture other goods. For example, iron and steel, okay. These industries give their machinery parts to the machine and tool industries to as a raw material, and same way in the copper smelting also they use that type of this, and in aluminium smelting also the same job is done, okay. So, these industries provide the raw material for the other basic key industries. And the next is the consumer industries, okay. Consumer industries, they produce the goods from direct use of by the consumer. So, example like sugar, okay. So, from sugar cane we are getting the sugar. So, this is a consumer industry where they directly use, it is directly used as a by the consumer. So, we no need of processing it and making into other new product. So, sugar we are directly using as a, we get directly from the industry, sugar, then toothpaste, manufacturing, okay, paper, fans, etc. So, these all are the consumer based industries. So, next let us see on the basis of the capital investment. So, on the basis of the capital investment, maximum investment is allowed on the assets of the unit run by the less number of the people, example Kansari and Gur. So, here what is actually to tell what is the meaning of the small scale industry means. Small scale industry is an industry where the investment is very less, okay. For example, it is less than 1 crore rupees. So, they are regarded as a small scale industry, and the example here they are given you about the Kansari and the Gur. Gur is nothing but jaggery, and Kansari is also similar material, okay. So, they all fall under the small scale industry. Next comes the large scale industry. If the investment is more than 1 crore, as I told you earlier, small scale industry they involve less than 1 crore now. If the investment is more than 1 crore now, it is regarded as a large scale industry, then it is known as a large scale industry. So, here what are the major important, how we can differentiate whether it is a small scale industry or a large scale industry? Now, small scale industry they will be started on a small amount, okay, meager amount like less than 1 crore, and here the skilled labor and also the unskilled labor are very less in number. But if you see in the large scale industry, it is not so. Here the laborers are more, okay. For example, here they are given you the example of the cotton textile industry. So, here the picture is given you about the cotton textile industry where all the processes are done in the same place. And this they are given you about the carpentry. So, carpentry work also will fall under the small scale industry where 1 or 2 persons can finish the work. So, here they are given you about such example about it. And next we are going to see on the basis of the ownership. So, on the basis of the ownership, the industry is classified as public sector and the private sector, okay. What is public sector? What is private sector? So, public sector are owned and operated by the government agencies, okay. So, this is solely under the control of the government. So, let it be the union government or the state government level, these public sectors function under their care. So, example for the public sector they are given you about BHEL. BHEL is nothing but Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited is a abbreviation for the BEL, and here they are given you about the SAIL. SAIL is nothing but Steel Authority of India Limited. So, this also fall under the public sector, and also GAIL also can be included in that. GAIL is nothing but Gas Authority of India. This also fall under the category of the public sector, as well as you can also include even Indian Railways, okay. This also fall under the public sector because Indian Railways is under the control of the union government, okay. So, these sectors all fall under the public sector. Next we are going to see about the private sector. Owned and operated. So, they are owned and operated by individuals or the group of individuals, okay. So, example they are given you about the TISCO. So, this is actually the first private sector that was started in India before the independence, okay. TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company or company. This is the abbreviation for TISCO. Once again I repeat, TISCO abbreviation is Tata Iron and Steel Company. So it was started by Jamshedji Tata in Jamshedpur, which is located in the present day Jharkhand state. Okay. And next comes the Bajaj Auto, as you know, all the vehicles. Okay. And Dabur Industries, where paste and honey etc. are manufactured in these industries. And apart from that, they have given you about the Reliance, which is also one of the major private sector, which is who is owned by Mukesh Ambani. Okay, so Reliance, they all fall under the private sector. And next, on the basis of the ownership, we are going to see two more sectors, that is the joint sector. These industries, these industries are run by the state, okay, by the state and the individuals or the group of individuals So they fall under the joint sector. So these industries, they are run either by the state or by the individuals or by the group of the individuals. Okay. Example is Oil India Limited. Okay. This is Oil India Limited, okay, and it is jointly owned by the public and the private sector. So here they have given you the picture of the Oil India Limited, okay. So next is the cooperative sector. Industries are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers of the raw materials, workers or both. They pool the resources and share the profits or losses proportionately. So here, what is the main theme of this cooperative sector now? Cooperative sector are the sectors which are run, okay, by the workers or both. So what these people do now, they will pool their resources or they pool their finance together and put under one major this, and they will continue the production, okay. So cooperative. So this is actually between the mutual understanding between the individuals, okay, group of the individuals who are involved in the cooperative sector. Here the group of this, whatever the profit or the losses are incurred in this sector will be equally shared, or according to the share of the proportion of the investment they made. They will share it according to that. Example for the cooperative sector is sugar industry in Maharashtra and the coir industry in Kerala. So apart from that, you can give even so many like Sudha Dairy is also one of the cooperative sector, and also you can tell about Amul company. Amul, you know, Anand Milk Union Limited, which is located in Gujarat. So these are the important examples for cooperative sector. Next, we are going to see on the based of the bulk and the weight of the raw materials and the finished goods, the industry is classified into heavy industries, okay. Heavy industries use heavy and bulky raw material and produce heavy materials. Example they are given is iron and steel industry. So in the heavy industry, the name itself suggests you what is heavy industry. Now heavy industry is nothing but the industry which inputs or outputs the heavy bulky materials, okay, as a raw material, okay. So they use bulky raw material, even the output is also in the bulky only, okay. So they fall under the heavy industries. Example is iron and steel industry. And next is the light industries, okay. Which are the light industries? The light industries, they use light raw materials and produce light materials. Example, so all the electronic items, so they fall under the light industries. Example here they are given you about the electric fans, watches, sewing machines, and you can tell even calculators, mobile phones, all fall under the light industries. Thank you for watching this YouTube channel, Vidya Lakshmi YouTube channel.